testosterone. Since then, I've lost 35 pounds of fat, and my waist went from size 38 to size 32. I have more energy, and I look and feel 20 years younger. And now my wife tells me I have to take Andro 400.
Hi, this is Ron Johnson from Utah. After 10 weeks of taking Andro 400, I lost 13 pounds, and my waist went from 36 to 33. That was 8 years ago. I continue to take Andro 400, and I've maintained my weight at 172. Gained muscle and energy. I'm 63 now and feel better than I have in 30 years.
Andro 400, the natural way to increase testosterone, lose belly fat, gain energy, and feel great. Try Andro 400, the safe, effective, affordable way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
When it comes to saving and managing your hard-earned money, you need a cohesive strategy. Randy Tobler here for my friends at Convergent Wealth Management. It's more than picking investments. It's about active financial design and effective execution of that plan. The experts at Convergent Wealth Management are fully licensed to meet any financial need. They're a full-service CPA firm, an independent insurance firm, an independent registered investment advisor. As a fiduciary, they are fully committed to the interests of their clients, not banks or brokerage firms. They're a faith-based organization driven by values, the same values you live by. All services are included in a single fee, unlike brokerage firms who operate on commissions. They're conveniently located in Chesterfield, and they'll meet with you for a free consultation when you mention my name, Randy Tobler. Schedule your consultation today at convergentwm.com. That's convergentwm.com. Or call 636-536-1800. 636-536-1800. Convergent Wealth Management. Wealth for the way.
For more than 20 years, Arrowhead Building Supplies customers in St. Peters have had to drive through our industrial park to visit us, often waiting behind big trucks or dealing with the park's railroad crossing. Well, our brand new Salt River Road entrance is now open for our customers, with direct access to our property. Our priority is to bring value to you, and once again, we've delivered. Our new entrance on Salt River Road is big, beautiful, and built just for you. Come try it out and see our showroom. Now also featuring the incredible new Arrowhead Cube Home Visualizer. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
Hey guys, I'm Dr. TJ Williams from the Institute of Natural Health. I would like to invite you to tune in to our show, Wellness 101, Sundays at 3 p.m. During this exciting hour, we will be diving into the health topics that you want to know about. We will be talking about your concerns and giving real-life examples of ways people can heal and the transformations we have seen with our clients. So tune in to Wellness 101, Sundays at 3, where we will cut through the nonsense to provide you common sense, science-based strategies for a healthy life. That's Wellness 101, Sundays at 3. And you can find us online at theinstituteofnaturalhealth.com.
Hey folks, Mark Cox here. We want you to join us in thanking first responders all this month. Each day we're going to recognize area police, fire, and EMT units to show support for what they do in the community. We want to raise awareness and say thank you for the difficult job they do every day. Listen to the show for the daily spotlight on our first responders. We encourage you to show your appreciation by donating to Responder Rescue. It's a locally based organization giving assistance to responders in need. Go to 971talk.com for more information and see how you can help.
This hour of the Tim Jones Show is brought to you by Convergent Wealth Management, your lifelong financial advocate. ConvergentWM.com.
The Tim Jones Show.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump. The Tim Jones Show.
And so, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president.
Donald Trump is not going to be president of the United States.
Donald Trump will never be elected president of the United States.
I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will lose the election. At least I will go down as a president.
This is the Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1.
I'm president, and they're not.
Yes, he is. Hey, I'm back. Welcome to the Tim Jones Show. Welcome to FM News Talk 97.1. Happy Sunday. Happy week of Thanksgiving. Ken, great to be back in the saddle.
Good evening, Mr. Speaker, and happy Thanksgiving week.
Absolutely, and I've got a bonus for folks who are listening tonight. I will be hosting the Allman in the Morning Show on Thanksgiving Day.
Oh, okay. I think you're going to talk about Adam Sandler's song that we have.
I can let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, man.
The turkey out of the noose.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I say that on radio? I don't know. You never know in this day and age, do you, Ken?
No.
Yeah. Hey, folks, thanks so much for tuning in. And You know, Ken, just so you all know how brilliant and talented Ken Williams, my producer, is. He put together he put together all the montages, and that one was perfect because we are here barely 1 year removed from one of the greatest electoral upsets of all times. And all those folks you heard, from Nancy Pelosi to the media critics he's got a whole list of them in there. It's a great montage. Folks, that's the reason why the left-wing lunatics and as we call them, the media, that's why they are hysterically still spinning and lighting their hair on fire.
Yep.
Because they're just butthurt beyond belief, and they can't, even a year later, they cannot believe that they have to say President Donald Trump. And you see it this week at all. You see it at all levels, and you saw it this week on all levels, from the federal level down to the state level. Here in the state of Missouri, if you look at our local trash media, or on the Kansas City Star side, the Kansas City Star and the Post-Disgrace, the Red Star, as we call them, the Kansas City Red Star, and the Post-Disgrace took turns this week bashing mainly three people over and over again. And I was happy to be in their company. It was Governor Greitens, and it was Josh Hawley, and it was Tim Jones. And it's amazing that I've been out of office for 3 years and I'm somehow still relevant to the Post-Disgrace and the Red Star. But I guess that's great. Good for me, right?
Yeah.
So they don't like Governor Greitens because he's doing what he said he was going to do. They're beating up on Josh Hawley because of some ridiculous argument about where his residency is. It's some old law we have on the books that, even the Democrats came to me a few years ago and wanted me to change this because there's an old law that requires some people to have residency within Jeff City. It was back in the day when we drove around on horses and buggies and we couldn't get places quickly, and they wanted to always have somebody at the seat of government. And so they're complaining about Josh Hawley about that because they can't think of anything else to criticize him for, because he's going to take out Claire McCaskill next year.
Exactly.
And
you nailed it right there.
That's it right there, because she's going down.
They're prepping.
Yep, and she's one of their stalwarts. She's one of their last women standing, and she's going to go down next year. And they're after me because I have found a way to continue out of office, to continue to support Republicans and Republican causes.
Great.
Through a PAC that I advise and do some work with. And it was the contribution for the PAC came from my old candidate fund, because I'm not running for anything right now. So I didn't think it was appropriate to still have a candidate PAC out there. So I transferred it. Let me tell you, folks, there are many Democrats who have more money on the sidelines than I do, who have been in out of office for longer times. You'll never hear the media talk about them. The media is mad because I work with a group, this PAC, that continues to help other Republicans, and that's what they despise. And they can keep trashing me and defaming me, and that's fine, because they won't silence me. And they hate the fact that I continue to support Republicans. That's really what it comes down to.
Right.
That's really what it comes down to. And, I'm not even going to say their names because I don't want to give them any undue credit, but you know who they are. These horrible editorial board writers, the Post-Disgrace. And these are individuals whose message and narrative was rejected by the American people and by a broad swath of Missourians. Because here in Missouri, these same writers predicted that Chris Koster was the next governor. And there is no Governor Koster.
Right.
There's a Governor Greitens. There's a Lieutenant Governor, Mike Parson, Republican. There's a Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft, Republican. There's an Attorney General, Josh Hawley, Republican. There is a Treasurer, Eric Schmidt, Republican. So there's a supermajority in the Missouri House. There's a supermajority in the Missouri Senate, Republicans. That's what they're aggravated about on the local level. And let's go back to the federal level. They're aggravated that President Donald Trump is accomplishing the things that he said he was going to do, despite the fact that he has a Congress that can barely tie their shoes and get the Journal probably passed every day. And he continues to marshal on. They're upset that Justice Gorsuch is on the Supreme Court. They're upset that all of the Obama-era regulations are being undone one at a time. They're upset that you may have missed this news last week because it was Roy Moorenomics week all week, and we'll talk about that later. They're upset that the that one of Elizabeth Warren's favorite pet projects, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, just what we need, more government to tell us what we should and should not do and to make sure we don't step on a crack and, pinch our fingers in a car door and, everything else.
And they're the ones who should be telling us about financial situations.
Right. So Obama's guy finally succumbed to the pressure that nobody wanted him there anymore, and he's resigning at the end of the month.
Good.
Yeah. Mining is coming back to the United States of America.
You got that right.
The miners are going back to work instead of Hillary Clinton said, Hillary Clinton, who's on her never-ending book tour, and trust me, the Democrats wish she'd quit too.
I hope she doesn't.
I've got some good stuff from her tonight, Ken. I'm sorry to make you listen to her, but she's too
I
priceless.
love it. That's great.
I could go on and on and on, but let me, before I get too far down the road, let's set up the show. I'm going to tell you, we'll do the top 3 of the week, and then we'll also tell you who's coming up on the show. We got some big national level guests tonight that I'm so excited about. Sunday nights is probably not, prime time for a lot of people that work Monday through Friday and do all these shows and everything, but due to our reach and the popularity of the Sunday show, we were able to get top line Monday through Friday style guests, and more will be coming down the line. So without further ado, let's do Tim's top 3.
Now the Tim Jones Show presents
Tim's top 3. Yeah, tax cuts now this week. The House passed the bill. Historic. Will the Senate follow up? Number 2, the Clintons uncovered. Woo, that's kind of a scary image, isn't it? So, Hillary Clinton is just on the battle trail, and Bill is nowhere to be found. But now we're deciding 25 years after the fact that maybe Bill did something wrong. And liberal media meltdown. All this morning was nothing but there's major things going on in this country, around this world, and every show started off with Alabama and Judge Roy Moore. So
amazing.
As if there's nothing else going on in the world. I don't want to say that's not important, but oh my goodness, I don't even know where to begin on this subject, Ken. It's hard to okay. First of all,
with taxes. That's one.
Well, yeah, We'll go back. Let's go back to taxes for a minute. So we got tax cuts now, Clinton's uncovered, and the liberal media meltdown. Folks, the thing that should be leading the headlines, and I was at the Reagan Ranch this week.
Oh, wow.
Which was so cool. I got to go out there through a group that we at First Rule Media belong to, ALEC, great group, the American Legislative Exchange Council. I was a presenter on tax policy. I was speaking about the importance of tax cuts and spending reform on the day this week in Reagan's home area, Santa Barbara, California, on the day that they passed the bill to the House. It was pretty historic.
Awesome.
Because later that day, then we went to the Reagan Ranch. And, Ken, I knew there was a ranch. I'd seen some pictures of it, but I was a kid. You were a kid back in the early 80s. And I've kind of forgotten a lot about it.
Right.
So there is of course, President Reagan, God rest his soul, and Nancy are gone. They're in heaven. They're riding horses up there together. They were big lovebirds, by the way. They really were. They really had a lot of love for each other, and they expressed it. So the Reagan Ranch was in danger of just being sold off or parceled out or whatever. And this great foundation, folks, you should look them up, the Young America Foundation, YAF. And they're either YAF.com or .org, YAF, the Young America Foundation. They came in and they raised the money through their donors, and they bought the Reagan Ranch. It's a beautiful tract of land, 650 acres up in the hills overlooking Santa Barbara. And all the way the drive up, we're on this bumpy it was kind of interesting. I was like, couldn't they there's a lot of wealthy people out here. Couldn't they fix this road? It's kind of a rough road, Switchbacks. We were all a little green under the gills by the time we got up there, all these big switchbacks, and bouncing around. And I was like, I hope the suspension holds up. But then you get to the top and you look out and you're looking over the Pacific Ocean on one side from these cliff tops. And then you go through this little kind of almost tunnel of trees and brush and stuff. And then poop, you pop out on the other side and there's the homestead down below you. And the homestead on the Reagan Ranch was this little 1800s era 1,800 little square foot farmhouse that the Reagans decided to not tear down, but to keep because they just loved the nostalgia of it. They could have torn it down, and President Reagan was a fairly wealthy guy. I don't know that he was uber wealthy. Like, he wasn't Bill Gates wealthy, but, he had made his money in real estate and investing. And
well, as an actor as well for a long time.
An actor, hard work. He worked really hard. So they set this up, and they kept this little house that was built in the 1800s. They added like one room to it, and Ken, it was like walking back into time to like my mom's kitchen or something back in the 80s.
I'll bet it was.
It was all those GE appliances, electric range stove. Remember with the kind of mustard color?
And the greenish, the light green.
Yeah, the mustard color and the green. Mm-hmm. An old tube Zenith television sitting in a... It was very simple. In fact, the bed, Reagan was such a conservative with a small c, so thrifty, that the bedroom, the master bedroom, it's kind of a funny thing to say now that I've seen it, it had these 2 twin beds. So instead of buying a new box spring and mattress, he was so thrifty, he tied the beds together and just bought a king-size mattress to throw on top of it. And his legs were so long, there was a stool at the end of the bed that he put his ankles on.
Oh, wow.
It was very modest. I don't know what I was expecting, but it's kind of like if you go to Graceland in Memphis, where you're expecting Elvis had some palace. It's kind of a strange little house, it's Graceland,
No, I've been there, and they mark it off, and it's really kind of small.
Yeah.
In a way.
And you would think the same thing of the Reagan Ranch. I think the Reagan Ranch didn't have a jungle room in it. But it was like a little farmhouse. It was like my Grandma Jones's farmhouse down in southwest Missouri. It really was. And he had a horse barn, and they had the old Secret Service metal building at the top of the hill. Oh. And that was like walking back into like some bad science fiction movie, like Mystery Science Theater 3000 knockoff, right. And it was funny because the equipment in there, you're like, really? But it was the whole place is kind of frozen in time to show you what they did. So President Reagan basically got up every day with his Secret Service detail, who became his best friends. There's one guy who became a very close friend of him, Jim Bartlett, I think his name was, wrote a book, Writing with Reagan. And they gave us a copy of it, and I'm going to read it. It was pretty cool because they became best friends. And they got up, and basically what they did on the ranch was they rode horses and they cut wood. That's pretty much what they did. He had a whole barn with these old McCullough chainsaws like my dad had. My dad wasn't a big horse rider, but he was a big wood cutter. So he was kind of a lot like Reagan in that sense. I cut a lot of wood growing up, but we rode on tractors, not horses. So it really opened my eyes to like what the man stood for and what he was and how that place defined him,
Yeah. Yep.
And I could see how he developed and took strength and solace from it because it's just, gorgeous.
Really grounded him.
It's a shame that it's in Looney Tune, California, but, beautiful, beautiful place. That middle central coast there, spectacular. It's too bad I got a great left-wing lunatic story that defines California, because this is the stuff the mainstream media never reports. They'd rather talk about Roy Moore for 25 minutes today on the morning show, on a 30-minute morning show, than talk about tax cuts. And how about talk about Roy Moore, but not spend 30 minutes beating the crap out of him, and then say, "Oh yeah, and Al Franken may have done something weird, but but Roy Moore, I mean, not to defend Roy Moore if he did these things wrong, but this is for Alabamans to decide, right? I mean,
it is.
They're going to have to decide. They're going to have to be the jury.
And if they even voted him in, he still has a whole big road ahead of him.
Yeah, he's got problems ahead of me. So I'm not going to sit here and defend Roy Moore, but I'm also not going to sit here and trash him because he hasn't been adjudicated yet. And the first adjudication is going to be the court of public opinion when they vote in December. And Roy Moore is going to have to stand before that jury of Alabama voters. Just like I'm not going to sit here, I'm not going to trash Al Franken all night either. I've always known Al Franken was a stupid, boorish person. People are just now figuring this out, right? This is from a state that elected Jesse the Body Ventura, okay? Right. I mean, I'm not going to condemn Al Franken. I'm not going to sit here and praise him or defend him. It's not my place necessarily. There's a process and a procedure for that. And Ken, I'm really worried about how we've gotten to this point where we have these public lynchings in the public square before the allegations have hardly been uttered by the utterer. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And political correctness has gotten so bad that liberal comic Jerry Seinfeld will not go to college campuses anymore. So, yes.
What a loss for them.
It is. Yes, if you are a true victim of sexual harassment, You absolutely need to complain about that, report that, and take care of it immediately. On the other hand, if you're not and you're making up allegations, then you're just as bad as someone, because you're ruining somebody's life then.
And there should be consequences.
And there should be consequences for that too. So I'm glad we're having an honest discussion, but these things always seem to knee-jerk and whiplash a little bit too much. So we're going to not just talk about Roy Moore for 2 hours or Al Franken or anything else.
Thank you.
We're going to talk to Grover Norquist after the break about the tax reform bill, because that affects your and mine's pocketbooks, our families, our livelihoods, and our communities a lot more than Al Franken or Roy Moore do on a daily basis. What is in these tax cut bills? What does it mean for you? Are you getting a tax cut or are you not? Don't rely on the mainstream media, liberal mainstream media for this, because you're going to be led astray. Rely on the Tim Jones Show. Here at FM News Talk 97.1, Grover Norquist, Americans for Tax Reform, up next.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
This liberal will be all about taking over and the government running all of your companies.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
Dependable weather.
Clouds take control today. Chance of a couple of spotty
with Fox 2 meteorologist Dave Murray.
Brought to you by Air Comfort Service. 0% financing and factory rebates, plus utility rebates on a new HVAC system. Details at aircomfortservice.com.
Waiting for Black Friday to get the best buy on a new car just doesn't make sense. At Suntrup Kia, we'll give you the same great savings all month long.
Now at Suntrup Kia, it's no-nonsense November. You don't have to wait to save on a new Kia Forte from $13,996 or lease a new 17 Sorento for $259 a month with just $1 down. Or you can select 0% financing on all in-stock 2017 Kias.
Don't wait for Black Friday. At Suntrup, we got savings all month long.
Buy a new Suntrup Kia Soul for $12,859 or lease a 2018 Sportage for $239 a month with just $1 down.
We know you're busy this time of year, and we'll get you in and out of our Kia dealerships in no time. It's the easiest process you'll ever have.
Suntrup Kia South on Lindbergh or Suntrup West on Manchester and Baldwin.
We'll make it a November to remember, so get in here now and
trade up at Suntrup.
Lease with approved credit, 10K miles per year plus T, $10 dock fee, $650 acquisition fee extra after all available incentives. VIN number Sportage 339764, Sorento 33908.
Find out how easy it is. Shop us online at suntrupkia.com.
Universal Windows Direct, universalwindowsstlouis.com. Hey, I've been telling you this. I've been warning you for several weeks now, and winter is coming. Today, it felt like winter was here. You've heard me talking about all the perks of buying your windows from the Universal Windows Direct guys. And, you know, what about the ways that they're going to make your home warmer this winter and cooler next summer, but they can also make your home more beautiful year-round. Extensive variety of products that they offer. Windows, siding, doors, gutters, roofing, attic insulation. You can finally have a home that looks the way you've been dreaming about. It's not going to break the bank because they've got this amazing offer. You buy one window this week, you get the next window free. There's no limits to that. Every window you buy, the next one's free. That is amazing. 0% financing for 36 months, plus free installation. Call to schedule your free in-home estimate today. 314-547-2600. 314-547-2600. Go to universalwindowsstlouis.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Diamonds Direct's breaking all the rules this weekend with the biggest sale all year. 3 days of extra savings store-wide. Save an extra 20% and more on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, colored gemstones. Huge savings across the board. And the selection is like double, with entire designer lines flown in. This is the best pre-holiday buying opportunity ever. Biggest sale all year, with nothing held back. Special financing too, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only at Diamonds Direct. Olive in 270.
Hello, St. Louis. Tony La Russa here. I've been part of a lot of winning baseball teams in my lifetime, but if I was putting together a winning medical team, I would pick the team over at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. With a urologist on staff, Dr. Hatchett has the expertise in sexual health to help you get back in the game. Call 618-632-9000, 618-632-9000, or visit our website at victorymenshealth.com. That's victorymenshealth.com.
When you're hiring, you want qualified candidates fast, and it can be hard to know where to find them. More than 3 million businesses use Indeed.com, the world's #1 job site. Whether you need entry-level or highly skilled employees, Indeed helps you find great talent and make the right hire. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/promo. That's Indeed.com/promo. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Have pain you can't ignore? Then try first-in-class relief from Salonpas. Salonpas pain relief patches have everything you need in one clinically proven solution. They're the strongest label pain reliever available without a prescription, safely relieving pain for up to 12 hours. And Salonpas is the first and only FDA-approved OTC topical pain reliever. For first-in-class relief, get Salonpas pain relief patches in the green box with a blue wave.
Trending on FM News Talk 97.1.
Listen to Al.
Hi, Al.
Let's move on.
He knew that picture was out there.
Disgusting and deeply troubling.
Assaulting me backstage.
Stay connected.
Roy Moore should step aside.
Quit standing when they lay me in that box. Put me in the ground.
Exciting day for the American people.
This is
the House just voted to pass sweeping tax reform.
FM News Talk 97.1.
The bill is only growing more monstrous in the Senate.
Younger, smarter, better.
I've been watching my way. I've been trying to do right. I've been trying to get a little more sleep at night.
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
First of all, I'm sensitive to this issue, having lived in New York and California, and I've literally spoken to hundreds of business people in both those states. So, first of all, as we've said, the objective of the plan is to simplify taxes and level the playing field. So we're getting the federal government out of subsidizing states, and that obviously does impact the high-tax states. Having said that, for someone who makes $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in high-tax states, they will get tax cuts. For people who make $1 million or more, their taxes are going to go up on the personal side. Now, having said that, they're going to get the benefit of business tax reduction, which will be very, very good for New York. They're going to get the benefit of pass-through reduction, which will be very good for small and medium-sized businesses and entrepreneurs. So, we look.
Yes, that was Secretary Mnuchin taking apart some of the biggest arguments that the liberal media is trying to sink their fangs into regarding the tax bill plans, the various tax bill plans. There's two major ones. There's one in the House, right? Well, the House passed theirs last week. It has been sent over to the Senate. The Senate got theirs out of their relevant committee, and they'll be talking about that soon as it runs down the pike. So joining us now to kind of help us, sift through all the misinformation, and there's plenty of that out there, is none other than Grover Norquist, the founder and president of Americans for Tax Reform. He's at Grover Norquist on Twitter, and can also be found atr.org. Grover, thanks for joining us again this evening.
Hey, absolutely. Good to be with you. So,
Grover, let's just, first of all, tell folks, remind them procedurally where we are generally. So the House has passed their version of tax reform. The Senate is debating theirs. What's the major differences that you've seen in the two bills at this point?
Sure. First, the House bill is written down and passed by the House. The Senate bill now is actually written down and passed out of committee. So we are past the point of looking at outlines and frameworks, which largely explain what we're doing. But now we're really down to the nitty-gritty, which is why people are coming out of special interests, are coming out of the woodwork going, oh, I loved the big picture, but I have this concern over here about me here and my particular issue. So they agree that we will permanently and quickly move to a corporate rate of not 35%, highest in the world, but 20%, which makes us competitive. China's at 25. We're at 35. This would take us down to 20. The House does it immediately. The Senate does it after a year. So you can imagine that's pretty easy to conference. Something
right
between 0 and 1 year.
That's right. That one's easy.
Yeah. Then they're looking at getting rid of the tax deductibility of much state and local taxation. a significant subsidy to rich people in big cities in California and Connecticut and New Jersey and New York and Chicago at the expense of everybody else. And the House, because they had some people who live in those states but not in the big cities, said, okay, no deducting the income tax, but you can deduct up to $10,000 on property taxes. That got you almost all of the Republican votes, including in those blue states, including in the rich states. That goes to the Senate. Senate said, nah, get rid of all of it, even the property tax.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the $10,000 or some number very close to that will be the number there. But the compromise is, first of all, everybody agrees we're not going to allow the deduction of a 13% top rate in California. There's no reason why Minnesota and New York, which have ridiculously high income tax rates, should be subsidized by the rest of the country, particularly states that have no income tax.
Right. Yeah, Grover, isn't
no benefit.
Yeah, Grover, isn't this whole debate on what we commonly refer to as the SALT deduction, the state and local taxes, it's really exposing the horrible tax policy of, like you referred to, the blue high tax states. That's really what this is doing.
Yes, and this is important on several levels. One, we say we don't want the government, the federal government, to direct investment or to advantage or disadvantage people, right? So we'd want to treat everybody the same. And yet, we've had a tax policy which subsidized big government and expensive government in corrupt cities and incompetent states. And we've said we're not doing that anymore. And the incompetent governor's caucus has announced itself by screaming. It said, I'm incompetent. I can't run my state properly without subsidies from other states. So I don't like this. So the guys raising their hands saying this is bad are saying, we plan to raise taxes in the future and we never plan to cut them. Yes. And we don't know how to do any different.
Speaking to Grover Norquist, the president of Americans for Tax Reform, ATR.org. You can find him at Grover Norquist on Twitter. Grover, the biggest criticism, and maybe the only, because it's so hard, I think in this day and age, even moderates and independents and even some Democrats really see how out of control government became, especially over the last decade with the last administration, so invasive in so many parts of our lives. The only reason Obamacare apparently survived, according to Justice Roberts, was because it was the biggest tax levied on the American people in history. So I think people really are tired of all the taxation, especially when they don't see a lot of benefit on the spending side. It's so much waste and all that. So it's hard to argue against a tax cut. But what the media and the left seem to be focusing on is, well, this is just tax relief for fat cats and uber wealthy gazillionaires, and there's nothing in here for hardworking middle class Americans or small business owners. What say you?
Well, that's what the Democrats and the establishment press say about any tax cut, period. It's sort of their standard reply. Two, it's a very weak hand because every American who pays taxes knows that we're going from a $12,000 standard deduction for a couple to $24,000. So the first beneficiaries are the first, not the first 12, but the first $24,000 of income you earn in the United States will be tax-free. You know, that doesn't do anything for Bill Gates or the Kennedy.
Right.
It is important for working Americans. This is a huge deal. Then all the rates come down, maybe not the top rate, that may not come down, but all of the rates come down for all people at each income level. And so you're seeing tax reduction there. Then there's an increased tax credit for children and for dependents, including if you're taking care of an elderly parent. Now that credit, in order to fit into the size of the box that the Senate rules allow, lapses after 5 or 6 years. No, it doesn't. Everybody in the country knows it's never going away.
Correct.
Or some of it lapses after 10 years. And so the Democrats will say, well, in 2027, there's a tax increase. And you're going, what are they talking about? Well, that's the make-believe game that we're going to allow those credits to lapse.
Right.
Even Obama didn't let the Reagan tax credits lapse and had to make those permanent. So if you hear something about in 2027, double check on that. I think two of the big things that people miss, not only do rates come down for everybody on the individual side and on the business side, but for the first time, we're treating the half of American businesses, the half of the American business income, half of the employment that are in pass-throughs, not big companies, but small
businesses,
companies. This is we're starting to cut their taxes as well to give them equity. Also, who benefits from this tax bill? The biggest winner as a result of this tax bill is the guy who gets a job, the guy who goes from $0 to $20,000, $0 to $30,000. And none of the distributional tables show you that. As far as they're concerned, it's only tax cuts. They don't focus on the job creation and wealth that this job will drive. You're talking about millions of Americans getting jobs that didn't have them before. None of those people were rich, right? I mean, rich people have jobs.
Right.
High-income people have jobs.
Right.
It's the guy with no income that gets a job. And this was the comment that you showed earlier, for some of the higher-income people who will lose a lot of deductions and credit, we are, however, cutting the corporate income tax, business income tax dramatically. That's going to increase the value of everybody's IRA, 401k, health savings accounts, because the stock market will go up dramatically because we're increasing the after-cash tax flow of every American company, including subchapter S's, by at least 23%.
Fantastic.
So wealth will go up, jobs will go up, wealth will go up, and your income, your after-tax income will go up as well.
Like it already has in most of the country, because we're just even talking about this. So Grover, yeah. I know I've been listening to you all year, and you've been on. I've seen you on TV almost every day the last 2 weeks. Everybody wants to hear what you have to say because your focus has been this for so long. And I know you don't have a crystal ball, but of course I have to ask you. Are they going to get this done? What's your best guess at this point, and how does it happen?
Sure. The answer is yes, because the House has passed their bill. It's a fine bill. Senators put their bill on out to the floor. This week is Thanksgiving. Next week, the Senate bill will go on the floor. The Democrats will talk about it for 40 hours. Then we'll have what they call a vote-a-rama, which will have 150 amendments, which will all be voted down.
Okay.
I mean, something, if they have a reasonable one, it may pass.
Something small, yeah.
Yeah. And then the bill will pass on the Senate side. So we'll have a Senate bill and a House bill. There are two possibilities. And when you look at it, this has been pre-negotiated with all of the members. You will hear senators announce, I may vote no because of X. What you're hearing is the guy saying, I would like a phone call from Mitch McConnell because I have a question.
Gotcha.
I would like to be on the Sunday talk shows this weekend, and only Republicans who might vote no are going to be on Meet the Press.
Exactly.
Republicans who go, I'm going to vote yes because this is so good for the economy, do not get to go on the
No one's going to talk to them. Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
So it's not treason for somebody to take this advantage to get on national TV and talk about what they want. It's not, they're not undermining the Republic by saying, if I flirt with the idea of voting no, I will get attention. I'm a politician. I like attention. And I want to tell everybody in my state how much I care about X,
Absolutely.
I care about X.
Absolutely.
They're not writing my press releases when I say I care about X. But if I open with, I might vote against the bill and tank the Republican agenda, and I want to talk about X, I can get on TV, I can get on radio, I can get quoted in the paper. So you'll see a lot of that, and it'll be very confusing. People go, oh, no, we don't have the votes. This is a bill that's been constructed to get 51, even 52 Senate votes. Might one or two people vote no? Yeah, they might. But you only need 50. You could lose 2, you're okay. Can't lose 3. I don't believe you will. And either it then goes to conference, and we have 10, 12 days in December to do that. And then we're way ahead of Christmas and we're way ahead of schedule. Or the House and the Senate, who are already looking at this bill, the House might say we need these 15 things different than your Senate bill. and the Senate could accept that as an amendment on the floor of the Senate. Okay, that's how they got us past the budget.
Exactly.
About a month ago. Then the House would simply have to vote for the Senate bill as amended by the House, and it's a quicker conference.
Yes.
And there's an argument for doing that because then we can get back to putting good judges on the bench and other things that need to get done.
Well, Grover, you know these folks better than most. Your time is valuable. Thanks for spending it with us, and we will follow you, and we will follow this issue till the very end. Thanks for joining us tonight, Grover. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim.
We'll talk to you again soon. Grover Norquist at Grover Norquist, ATR.org. Tim Jones Show. We'll be back with more right after this. Keep it right here on FM News Talk 97.1.
This is the Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1, 98.7, and AM 1490. Or streaming live at 971talk.com and the 97.1 mobile app.
Couple smokes and also Crown mixed in my coat.
Hey guys, Tony Colombo here. Join Mark Close and me for the Queen Tribute Show, Somebody to Love, presented by Weber Chevrolet, Friday, December 1st at Ballpark Village. It's free and all ages are welcome. Just bring a toy for Toys for Tots and enjoy the music of the Queen. Get all the details at 971talk.com.
Severe weather can destroy your old roof, causing leaks, damage, and costly repairs. So make the wise investment this fall and call Erie Metal Roofing to save $2,000 on the last roof you will ever need. The Erie Metal Roof is a weatherproof barrier for your home that won't split, crack, or rot, and it weathers storms with a 120-mile-per-hour wind warranty. Erie has an A+ rating with a Better Business Bureau, and if you call now during our fall double discount, double your savings from $1,000 to $2,000. Affordable financing is available, and ask about no payments until spring. Call now and double your bonus from a $100 to a $200 gift card with purchase, and also receive free gutter protection with your Erie Metal Roof purchase. Call 1-800-917-2400 to save $2,000 on the last roof you will ever need. Call now, 1-800-917-2400. That's 1-800-917-2400.
It wasn't easy starting my own business, but when it came to my internet and phone service, Spectrum Business was a no-brainer.
That's because Spectrum Business delivers the fastest internet starting speeds for less. 100 megs for just $44.99 a month when bundled. Call 888-845-8349.
Spectrum Business had the best deal for me. It was clear and simple and didn't require a contract.
With Spectrum Business Voice, there are no hidden fees, no added taxes, just unlimited local and long-distance calling for just $29.99 a month, and no contracts.
Who wants to sign a contract when you're just getting going?
So don't settle for less than the best for your business. Call Spectrum Business and get 100 meg internet for only $44.99 a month when bundled with voice for just $29.99 a month, and no contracts. Call 888-845-8349 today. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Brook Linen. They are a linen company. They do sheets and comforters and pillowcases and duvet covers and things like that. And they reached out to me because of the success I've had with their friends at Harrys.com. It's a very similar story where this couple who started Brook Linen, Vicky and Rich, stayed at a nice hotel and they slept on this great bedding. And the next morning they're checking out and they made a joke like, "Hey, I wish we could buy that bed linen." And they said, "You can. It's $800." And they laughed and they went to breakfast. Then they checked into it and they realized that with all bedding, there's so many middlemen that they could get you better bedding, higher quality, higher thread count at a fraction of the cost by simply doing it themselves. They're the fastest growing bedding company in the world, 12,000 five-star reviews. I can get you $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Glover at brooklinen.com, BROOKLINEN. Everything's guaranteed. Check it out, brooklinen.com.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining, bad odors, and lead with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to goodclearwater.com. That's goodclearwater.com.
Have pain you can't ignore? Then try first-in-class relief from Salon Pass. Salon Pass Pain Relief Patches have everything you need in one clinically proven solution. They're the strongest label pain reliever available without a prescription, safely relieving pain for up to 12 hours. And Salon Pass is the first and only FDA-approved OTC topical pain reliever. For first-in-class relief, get Salon Pass Pain Relief Patches in the green box with a blue wave.
We have multiple casualties.
The heroes that they are.
Automatic fire.
They're there.
Sean Hannity.
The next time a police officer comes under fire,
weeknights 7 to 9,
everybody rushes to judgment. Remember the cops in Vegas.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
This hour of the Tim Jones Show is brought to you by Convergent Wealth Management, your lifelong financial advocate. ConvergentWM.com.
So let's get one thing straight now, baby. Tell me if you love me or not, love me or not, love me or not. At the house on you, am I lucky or not, lucky or not, lucky or not?
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Tax rates are too high today and tax revenues are too low. And the soundest way to raise the revenues in the long run is to cut the rates now. And the reason is that only full employment can balance the budget, and tax reduction can pave the way to that employment. The purpose of cutting taxes now is not to incur a budget deficit, but to achieve the more prosperous, expanding economy, which can bring a budget surplus.
Right-wing radical there. I've never heard him. Known as John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Who would not be part of today's Democratic Party. I'm sorry to tell you, folks. I know you liberals just love to embrace Kennedy because you just like saying the name, and you love the whole Camelot theme and all that stuff, and the glitz and the glamour.
He would have ran so fast.
Because you're all about show on the left, and until the show turns into a nightmare, which is Harvey Weinstein. And, you know, I'm going to get it segued here real quick. Let me wrap up with JFK first. JFK would he might not be William F. Buckley Republican, conservative. But he would be Republican. He'd be like John McCain. He'd be a more tolerable version of John McCain.
Yeah, right.
Hey, welcome to the Tim Jones Show. Got so excited off the top of the hour last hour. I forgot to give you all the stuff. So we're at, of course, 971talk.com/Tim Jones. You can stream the show there. You can listen to the podcast. You can listen to my melodious pipes all through your holiday weekend. What a better way to spend it. You can follow me on Twitter, which is also very entertaining. My Troll Patrol, my favorite left-wing lunatics. I'm gonna get little like fuzzy dolls made for some of the more frequent offenders. You know, a little action figure series. You can follow me at Speaker Tim Jones on Facebook or Twitter, either one. And we've also got Ken's Facebook page. Ken links to the show and posts everything up there. Ken J. Williams, right?
That's
the Facebook
right.
page?
Facebook.com/Ken
J. Williams. And Ken, we got the cameras up tonight?
Yes, we do.
Okay, YouTube. You can go and type in The Tim Jones Show.
And we're working on your Facebook page for the show. And once that gets rolling, then we'll be able to put blogs on there. And each night we'll have the video going live on there as well.
You can see these two beautiful faces made for radio tonight, right?
Made for radio, buddy.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can say that anymore, Ken. Can I talk about your cute hat?
You
I probably can't talk.
Go ahead. Sure, why not? You know,
Ken had to point out to me during the break. He's got a Trump hat on. Trump golf.
My brother gave it to me.
Yeah, very nice.
He went golfing down.
It's the good
Florida,
brother, right? The good sibling,
the good one.
We won't talk about anything else. Yeah. Happy Thanksgiving week, and as a bonus, yours truly will be filling in for Master Jamie Ullman on Thursday morning, Thanksgiving Day. We'll be on the air live from 6 to 9. Jeff Allen gave us a 1-hour reprieve. He's going to let me sleep in for 60 extra minutes, but we'll be live at 6 a.m. I'll be here with all the Allman ladies, and we will play lots of cool tunes, and we'll talk lots of good stuff, and it'll be a Thanksgiving show. So I'm gonna tone it down a little bit, and I'm gonna have some awesome guests. I'm gonna have some of the biggest promoters of Guns N' Hoses. They'll have just had the event the night before. I may go down for a little bit. I don't know. I gotta get up at dark early and get down here and get ready and all that. But I may go down and fly the colors for a little bit because they've invited me down. It's very nice of them, the Guns N' Hoses crew. The annual event here in St. Louis, Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. So this Wednesday night is Guns N' Hoses. Go. It's a great event. I've been many times. I'm doing the show. I'll probably go for a little bit. And then,
where is it again?
It's at Scott Trade Center.
Okay.
It's at Scott Trade. Just Google St. Louis Guns N' Hoses. And I know there's tickets still available. It typically does sell out or get close to selling out. I'm going to have Chief Greg Brown from Eureka Fire Protection District. I'm going to have Chief Mike Wiegand from the Eureka Police Department. I believe they're going to bring in St. Louis County Chief John Belmar, who's one of my favorite people in the world. And also, I got a bonus. We're going to talk a little spirituality about Thanksgiving. I'm going to have Father Leo Spezia from my parish on.
Oh, wonderful.
He's from The Hill originally. And love Father Leo. He reminds me so much of my Italian grandfather, and just such a great guy. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit, have a little lighter. And Jim Talent, who's going to join us here tonight in the next break, is also going to join us on Thanksgiving Day as well. So it'll be a day of giving thanks. We'll talk about. I'm so thankful for so many things. Not going to go into that now. I'm going to save it for Thursday, so listen to us Thursday morning. Steve's been holding on a long time. Steve, thank you so much for holding on. Sorry I had to get to Grover Norquist and some other things, but you're on now, The Tim Jones Show.
Mr. Speaker, how are you?
I'm great. How are you this evening?
Well, I'll tell you what. I wish I would have been able to get on there while Mr. Norquist was on there because I had some things to talk to him about.
Okay. Well, go right ahead, and I'll if I can't answer it tonight, I'll think on it and get back to you.
Okay, fair enough. I'm one of these people that are under a certain amount of money. And the interim, I spoke to you a few times, and I spoke to Mark. When I get down to a zero basis of tax, all right, during the year.
Okay.
I file my taxes at the end of the year. I pay zero.
Okay. That's great. I wish I was you. As far as not paying any taxes.
I enjoy it.
Okay.
But here's the reality. He's talking $24,000. Somebody walks into a job making $24,000. He doesn't pay anything.
That's correct.
Okay. Here's the mathematics of that right there. If I don't pay anything, then don't take it out of my paycheck.
Okay.
If you're not taking it out of my paycheck via federal income tax, then I'm going to spend that money within the economy.
Right. That's true.
Don't give me that money at the end of the year, because this is what happens. Every single time there's a tax break, tax cut, whatever the politician wants to spin it out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They talk about the middle class. The middle class this, the middle class that, blah, 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 blah. The reality of that is, number one, there is no middle class. There are the people that have, and there's the people that wish, and there's the people that don't. All right?
Right.
Those are facts. The reality on top of that, we have to go back and look at history. And we were living in a very, very sad time. And I'm going to tell you why we're living in a sad time.
Okay, Steve, you got to say it fast, man. I've got 30 seconds left.
What's that?
You got 30 seconds, Steve. Hard break.
Okay. You and I aren't going to live in this. Our children will. Unfortunately, they're going to pay the price for this.
Yeah.
And
Steve, I'm going to address that after the break. The tax cut is a good thing, but we got to do more, and that's spending and entitlement reform. You're bringing up a great point, my friend, but I do have to run. Steve brings up a great point. I know exactly what he's talking about. This is part one, folks, but you got to get rid of all the junk, the loopholes, and the crap that's built up in that tax code. Then you get to entitlement reform. I think that's what Steve's referring to. Tim Jones Show, more after this. We'll be right back.
This is the Tim Jones Show
I have to tell my kids that I'm a rock star now.
on FM News Talk 97.1.
Contractors, meeting with your customers can be difficult. Making time to actually sit down and go over product and color selections is tough when your suppliers close by 5 p.m. every day. Only Arrowhead Building Supply has your solution. We've built mind-blowing, beautiful showrooms that are professional and convenient. We now have new store hours until 8 p.m. weekdays and noon on Saturdays. Arrowhead has also built private contractor presentation rooms for you. These feature large LED televisions and product video libraries, so you can show your customers how products will look and what to expect. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
You lead a busy lifestyle, and it's important to remain cool and confident when making that big presentation, negotiating a deal, or just hanging out with friends. You can with Miradry from Ridenour Plastic Surgery. Miradry is an FDA-approved device that permanently eliminates underarm sweat safely with no downtime. Stay confident and active without fear of underarm sweat. Call Ridenour at 314-878-8600 to get started. Ridenour knows confidence is sexy, confidence is beautiful. 878-8600.
All right, Massa's Restaurant. Been around a long, long time. 50 years, kind of like Casey in a way, and they have 5 locations. If you know anything about the restaurant business, probably the toughest business there is. You've seen restaurants that you think were doing great, and you drive by, and all of a sudden they're a produce stand the next week. Massa's continues to grow with more locations. 5 locations. They're all over the place. They serve some of the best Italian. They serve great steaks and seafood. If you're trying to watch your weight, you can go in and get their house salad that is outstanding and make a meal out of their salad. Great pizza. Of course, everything's available to go if you want to do that too. And with 5 locations, pretty much any direction you go, you're going to find great, great food. I got an idea. A gift card will make a great idea, a great gift for someone. You know they're going to use it, and once they try it one time, they're going to be hooked just like you've been over the years. Again, there's 5 locations. The best way to find out the hours and locations is Google them. Go to Massa's, M-A-S-S-A''S, Massa's. It's Massa's, of course.
When you're hiring, you want qualified candidates fast, and it can be hard to know where to find them. More than 3 million businesses use Indeed.com, the world's #1 job site. Whether you need entry-level or highly skilled employees, Indeed helps you find great talent and make the right hire. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/promo. That's Indeed.com/promo. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
I have to get to sleep.
Tom had a stressful day, and now he can't shut down at bedtime.
Need sleep.
To fall asleep fast, millions of people turn to Unisom sleep gels. They're non-habit forming and quickly help you sleep soundly so you wake recharged. Tom? Unisom sleep gels. A stressful day deserves a restful night. Use as directed. Active ingredient diphenhydramine hydrochloride.
KFTK FM, Florissant. KFTK AM East St. Louis. K254CR St. Louis.
Powered by thehomeloanexpert.com.
FM News Talk 97.1.
What to do about Roy Moore? I'm Paul Stevens, Fox News. The Alabama GOP Senate candidate still refusing to step aside despite allegations of sexual impropriety that he denies. What will the Senate do if Moore is elected?
If he comes to the Senate because the people of Alabama elect him, and someone files a complaint with the Senate Ethics Committee, as they apparently have done with Al Franken, then it'll be up to the Ethics Committee to weigh the evidence and then all the individual senators to make a decision based on their findings and recommendations.
Arkansas GOP Senator Tom Cotton on CBS's Face the Nation. Members of Congress with a new emphasis on weeding out sexual harassment and impropriety. Michigan Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Dingell asked if there's a double standard involving candidates like Roy Moore and sitting members of Congress like Al Franken.
No, I don't think that there's a double standard. I think we've got to be very careful. Now, I'm going to say this, that everybody's entitled to be innocent until proven guilty. But when people come forward, there's a large group of people. Al Franken's going to the Ethics Committee. Let's see where that goes.
Congresswoman Dingell appearing on NBC's Meet the Press. 93-year-old Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe not resigning today as expected, but sounding like he's going to stay on.
Today's meeting with the command element has underscored the need for us to collectively start processes that return our nation to normalcy.
But his own party now saying they will impeach Mugabe. Authorities now searching the Texas Big Bend area for potential suspects and witnesses after a U.S. Customs Border Patrol agent was fatally injured, responding to what officials will only say was activity there. A second agent also seriously injured. Texas GOP Senator Ted Cruz calling what happened on those border agents an attack. President Trump tweeting moments ago, "We will stand, we must build the border wall." You're listening to Fox News, fair and balanced.
Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Weather.
The official FM News Talk 97.1 Weather Center forecast calls for much colder air to push in tonight, clearing early. It'll be breezy with a low near 30. Sunny but chilly tomorrow with the high 45. Sort of partly cloudy tomorrow night, again chilly with lows 30 to 34. And breezy and warming up Monday, partly sunny with a high near 60 Monday. Mainly sunny, high 54 Tuesday. I'm meteorologist Frank Strait for FM News Talk 97.1.
Hey, if you want granite, won't you want to go to the place where the designers and the builders go? That's right, Aphrodite Granite, and now there is still time. You can order by 12/4 and still get everything for your family gathering. Let's face it, everyone gathers around the kitchen, and how about an Aphrodite Granite kitchen? That's right, all-size kitchens starting only $19.95. They install 50 kitchens a week because their prices and quality are the absolute best. AphroditeGranite.com.
Trade up at Suntrup.
When you trade up to a new Nissan, you trade up to a tremendous deal.
Dump that old car and get into a new Nissan at great Suntrup savings. Black Friday lasts all month long with low lease payments on all remaining 2017 Altimas. Now just $177 a month, or get a Suntrup Sentra lease for $127 a month.
And you can get both with just $17 down.
Trading up at Suntrup has never been easier.
We won't waste your time, and we'll give you more for your trade.
At Suntrup Nissan, we work hard to get you approved for credit. Just talk to the Suntrup Super Crew, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you the credit you deserve.
We know you work hard, and we'll work even harder to make it easy for you to get into a dependable new Nissan. So get in here and
trade up at Suntrup. Trade up at Suntrup.
Offers on approved credit for 6-month leases, $17 down plus $5.95 acquisition fee. No security deposit includes rebates and incentives. Also VIN HC 221762, Sentra VIN HY 374092. 2 or more of each of these prices plus detail on down payment. Expect refinancing new loan.
Don't wait for Black Friday. Shop us right now at SuntrupNissan.com.
AT&T has a network with thousands of best-in-class security experts helping protect from a security breach, which means more security experts like this.
I will guard the network with my life.
And less like this.
Whatever.
More customers like this.
My order's done? This network is so quick.
And less like this.
My order's not done? Your network is so slow.
More of the people threatening your network security saying this.
I can't get in!
And less of them saying this.
Yes, I can get in!
More of a highly secure network with more security products available for further protection. And less per month. That's the power of AND.
Switch to AT&T Internet for Business. You get 100 megabits per second for $40 per month when bundled. Visit att.com/smallbusinessinternet for details. AT&T Internet for Business promotion offer expires 12/31/17. 24-month promotional rate is $40 per month for 100 times 20 megabits per second dynamic IP service. After promo period, current published rates apply. Subject to change, must purchase qualifying AT&T voice service, taxes, fees, and other restrictions apply. Actual speeds may vary. Visit att.com/smallbusinessinternet for details.
How was your day?
Fine.
Did you learn anything new?
No.
Anything I should know?
No.
Is everything okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be hard to connect with teens. Use Connect With Me activity cards to deepen your conversations. Visit health.mo.gov/connect to access these free cards and other resources.
A message from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services.
Hey guys, Glover here. Join us for the kickoff event to our Christmas food drive at Morch Royce Jewelry, Friday, December 1st, starting at 3 p.m., helping feed the hungry in the St. Louis area and drop off a canned good or non-perishable food item to benefit Operation Food Search. We'll have giveaways each hour, including blues tickets, restaurant gift cards, and a gorgeous Tavon watch from Morch Royce Jewelry. Get all the details on the December 1st kickoff event at 971talk.com. The 2017 DGS Christmas Food Drive presented by Morch Royce Jewelry.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
And for all these athletes, take a knee. How about my foot in your ass? Thank God Trump did get elected.
The Tim Jones Show.
The media now has declared war on the very American people that put this president into office.
Donald Trump is the first president since Ronald Reagan that wasn't a candy ass. Thanks for being on the air for us. You got a great show.
This is the Tim Jones Show on FM News Talk 97.1.
This hour of the Tim Jones Show is brought to you by Convergent Wealth Management, your lifelong financial advocate. ConvergentWM.com.
Happy Sunday! Welcome to the Tim Jones Show here at FM News Talk 97.1. We are on live, as we are every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. here at FM News Talk 97.1. Follow us at Speaker Tim Jones on Facebook or Twitter, 971talk.com/Tim Jones. That's right. We're in unison. You can stream us live around the world.
You can.
Yeah. Or you can look at these two beautiful mugs of Tim Jones and Ken Williams
Built for radio.
Built for radio. Faces built for radio. On YouTube. Go to YouTube. Punch in the little search box, Tim Jones Show. You can put 971 just to be sure, but we will pop up and we'll be right there. We are preserved for posterity, so you can listen to us tomorrow, the next day. Bring us to the Thanksgiving Day dinner table.
Yeah.
For some families, it may be joy. For others,
warm it up.
It may cause civil war. So. Happy Thanksgiving week. Ken, hope you have a great Thanksgiving this
you
Thursday.
as well, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you so much. I will be here in the morning. And my family is going to be going to church. I can't join them, but I'm bringing the father here in studio.
There you go.
So I'll have Father Leo Spija give us the blessing. He'll be here with me live at the Almond in the Morning Show on Thursday morning. Jamie's going to take the day off, and he deserves it. Hardest working guy in radio, TV, and everything else that he does. So thank you for Jamie for always trusting the big show into my hands. Hey, we had a great event on Saturday morning out at Lindenwood. Huge props to Lindenwood University, the Hammond Institute, which helped sponsor the event, to 97.1, and especially to Brian Kilmeade, who came into St. Louis. There's a guy, Ken, I don't know when he sleeps.
No, I know.
Literally. He's doing shows. He's doing shows at like 5 a.m. on TV, and then he does a radio program, I think for 3 hours.
And that's New York time, by the way.
Yeah, and then you turn on the TV at night, and he fills in at night sometimes.
Right.
He told us why. He said he gave a great talk. His new book, which I'll pitch for him, I bought it. I had him sign it. We had a huge crowd there. Thank you so much to all of you in 971 Talk Fanland. You all showed up in force on what became a wintry day following a summer morning here in St. Louis. It wasn't a very nice day weather-wise, but we were nice and warm and snug in the beautiful Schneidiger Center at Lindenwood University, sponsored by the Hammond Institute. We had Brian Kilmeade. We had a full house, Ken, on a Saturday morning. People, it was the lower bowl, so that's a gigantic theater. The entire lower bowl was filled. The book signing part, the VIP book signing part in the very beginning, we did a book signing in the beginning and at the end. And so there was a little VIP thing. That was sold out, and it was standing room only. So folks came in, and then we all were like the receiving line. It was like being at a wedding with people in blue jeans and T-shirts.
All right.
Allman, Dave Glover, Mark Cox, myself, a bunch of the other people from the show, the producers. Denise was there, and Trish, and Katie Bailey, and Rachel Zimmerman, and Tony Colombo, and Andrew was there, who's also one of our producers here. I'm leaving probably people. Jeff Allen was there. Better not leave Jeff Allen out.
No.
And so they came down this big receiving line. And Chris Arps, who frequently fills in for Mark Cox. So the whole crew was there. It was really cool. And if you go to my Twitter feed or anybody's Twitter feed of the people I just mentioned, you'll see a bunch of really cool pictures. We were all on the stage at the same time. It was like that famous Hanna-Barbera comic, The Great Race, where they put all the characters together from the different shows. When I was a kid, I was like, how did they do that? How did they get Scooby-Doo and Captain Caveman on the same screen together? That's so cool, Remember that? Remember The Great Race?
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, Mom, Dad. I was like,
how'd they do that?
Wait, Captain Caveman is a cave dude on a cave planet, and he's in this show with Mighty Mouse or whoever, right? I was like, how did they do that? So that's what it was like.
Got their agents together.
Right, they got the agents together. They worked the contract. So we were all there together. Cool photos. We're all with Brian Kilmeade. It was really neat. And thank you to all of you. I don't say it enough. It's so cool that I have my own show on Sunday night. I'm just tickled pink every time I come in here. Ken and I have so much fun. I get to fill in for Jamie Allman, the great Jamie Allman. I get to be on Dave Glover's awesome afternoon show a lot. They have me on pretty much every Wednesday now. You can catch me every Wednesday afternoon on Dave's show. Mark Cox is a dear friend. We talked for like an hour Saturday morning to catch up. Who am I leaving? I think I got everybody. The producers are all so cool. From Trish and Katie and Denise in the morning to Rachel in the afternoon. She has to put up with that whole crew in the afternoon. I feel sorry for her. But Tony Colombo is become one of my best political bounce off pundit kind of guys.
He's a good old friend of mine.
Yeah, he's a great guy. And so everybody was there. Jeff Allen, so good. So anyway, it was a cool event. Folks, go to the next one. These are really neat events. There's a ton of stuff actually coming up. I should mention this about the station here because it is Thanksgiving week. I'm looking at Tim Elwell's. He sends out a little promo memo every week, and I'm the first one that gets it who's on air because it comes out Sunday night. And go to 971talk.com. There's a ton of stuff coming up. There's a really cool auction. There's an MS auction starting at Thanksgiving Day at 5 p.m., and that is going to, let's see, what am I looking at here? Powered by, okay, so just go there, look at the MS auction. There's a Queen tribute show coming up. Allman is having a huge event Thursday, November 30th with the Heritage Foundation coming into town to talk about tax reform. Mark Cox has got Responder Thanksgiving. The Dave Glover Show is doing their Christmas food drive kickoff, and that is the promo for the week. So lots of cool stuff. If you didn't catch what I just said, just go to 971talk.com. Lots of cool stuff coming up for the holidays. The station always blows it out, and it's a great place to work. And so thank you to 971 for bringing in Brian Kilmeade. He gave a great speech about, he was funny, witty, anecdotal, great stuff. The guy started from nothing. He was a rags to riches story. A blue-collar guy from Long Island, still kind of sounds like it. He's got that Long Island accent. I lived in New York for 10 years. He reminded me a lot of my buddies from up there. He said, one of the questions the audience asked him was, why do you seem like you work 24/7, man? You've made it, right? You're a New York anchor on a massive network, Fox News, the behemoth. You've written 3 freaking books. The guy's written 3 books, bestsellers, New York Times bestsellers. You're still like blowing it out like you just started. He goes, because I feel like it. I feel like, you never know when life's fortunes are going to change, and so I'm going to take every opportunity I can and work as hard as I can to do everything I can for this, for my family and for this great country. So, cool dude. Buy his book. The new one is called, the second one was called Thomas Jefferson and the Tripoli Pirates, and the newest one is Andrew Jackson and the Miracle of New Orleans. So, really, they read like action novels because I've read some pieces of them.
Well, the backstory on the New Orleans one, that is amazing. It's I read a little bit about it, and it's a very unknown war that could have changed the track of America.
Yeah, he said that's what he likes to do. He said he likes to take a famous character from history and then combine them with something you may not know much about that really made American history was on the fulcrum. It was in the balance. It was hanging in the balance. And this is something I get on my soapbox a lot. My poor wife has to listen to me talk about this all the time, and I get emotional about it, literally. And she's seen me, and she's like, "Oh, stop it. Pull up your big boy pants," But I get so aggravated that we've got this mainly liberal media now that is so adamant on tearing people down whose political philosophy they don't agree with. They're so upset that the great Queen Clinton didn't win last year so they could continue this horrible plunge towards failed progressivism. They're so mad that their narrative was rejected by a strong majority of Americans that they're trying to tear our country apart at the seams. Donald Trump is doing nothing to this country except truly making it great again. He's doing everything he promised to do. It was everything the media fought against. Standing up once again for American exceptionalism, cutting taxes, putting constitutional conservatives on the Supreme Court, lowering regulations. And folks, the stock market and the GDP numbers do not lie. We're at all-time highs in both. Obama never had a GDP growth segment of over 3%. He never hit 3%. We're knocking on the door at 3%, and if we get the tax reform through, it's going to be 4% or higher.
Yep.
So they're aggravated that capitalism has proven once again to work, that economic freedom is the way to go. And that's all they want to do is tear people down. Whereas we've got these great men and women who founded this country and fought and died and bled for it. And these people are messing around on this it's
change history.
Yeah, and it's crap what they're doing. They're all feeding us a bunch of crap sandwiches every day, instead of focusing on the stories that matter. And that's why we have this station. That's why it's so good. Speaking of the failed media, let's talk about their media malpractice of the week.
Now, the Tim Jones Show presents...
Someone believes some fake news story.
Especially by the media.
This is very dangerous to America.
The corporatist, globalist media.
Media malpractice.
Roy Moore, with the president campaign with Roy Moore?
Not that I'm aware of.
And can I ask you a follow-up? Do you think he's a creep?
Do I?
Yeah.
Look, I don't know Roy Moore. I haven't met him in person, so I wouldn't be able to respond to that. Kristen.
Do they teach that in? Do they teach that in journalism school? How to ask questions, hard-hitting questions like that?
The hard-hitting.
That was that moron Jim Acosta from CNN.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Of course. So
I love Sarah. I think she's awesome.
It's Roy Moore a creep. I mean, that's some hard-hitting journalism right there. Yeah. There's really nothing to say, right? I mean, it's just that's what they're wasting taxpayer dollars on. They're wasting taxpayer dollars because Sarah Sanders works for the taxpayers. She works for the government. And they're wasting time not asking about tax cut plans, not asking about the crazy little fat man over in North Korea who's got nuclear missiles pointed at Western civilization. They're not even talking about Russia anymore.
No.
It's all about, is Roy Moore a creep? I mean,
and they shouldn't even be talking about that considering all of the people on the Democratic side that are having their issues and the celebrities, etc.
See, that's what I wanted to get to earlier, Ken, is that's the problem with all of this is, yes, sexual harassment is unconscionable and should never be tolerated. My problem is it seemed like only those on the right had to be accountable.
Right.
For those things, because here's the narrative from the left. Well, because you Republicans always talk about morals and things and like being pro-life and you like the Constitution. You're so self-righteous. So if you guys ever screw up, if you ever make any mistakes, because you're so self-righteous and you believe in those things, you have to immediately resign, retire, go away, and be stoned.
Right.
But we on the left, we don't have any morals, and therefore we don't have to abide by any. So we can just do everything we want. Like for 20 years, Harvey Weinstein can be horrible to actresses and actors.
To women.
Do you say actress anymore? I get so confused. Do you just say actor?
I think you just say actor now.
I can't keep up.
Yeah.
So actors. To women actors. So he can do that. Bill Clinton is being held to account 25 years after the fact. Finally.
And how much is he going to be held to account, though? I mean, they're going to say, in retrospect, yeah, maybe we should have done something, but it's the past.
It's funny you bring that up. I got a clip of that. So, so listen first to this clip from Hillary Clinton. Now, I'm not going to tell you when this is from. Just listen to the clip.
Look, we have a man who's accused of sexual assault sitting in the Oval Office, don't we? And the very credible accusations against him have not been taken seriously. So,
was that circa 1990? What year was all that, Ken? 90. I was out of law school. 96, 7?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
Was that circa 1997? 98? Or was that circa...
last week?
Who's she talking about?
I don't know.
She could be talking about...
her husband.
Anybody. Maybe her husband even. No, that was an interview she did this week. Ken, does that woman listen to herself talk?
I don't think
Hillary
so.
Clinton said that, folks, not in 1998, because she would never have done that back then. She said that this week, and she said it about President Trump. The Clintons have perfected the art of diversion and triangulation like nobody I've ever seen. She then goes on to say, because this was actually, there was a woman interviewing her. It was a radio interview. And the woman interviewing her did a really good job, like beyond, she was excellent. She kept following up and hammering Hillary with, well, what about Bill? And what about this? And what about that? Hillary just deflects.
Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, your longtime friend and political ally, said in an interview this week that your husband should have resigned after his affair with Monica Lewinsky. What do you say to that?
Well, I'm not exactly sure what she was trying to say. There has been some confusion about it. But
confusion.
Look, this was a painful
Clinton
time,
trick.
not only in our marriage, but in our country, as I've written about.
Yeah, and you made it that way.
But it was investigated fully. It was addressed at the time.
It really wasn't.
He was held accountable. That is very
After a
different
lot of obstruction.
than what people seem to be remembering from that period, because you can go back and look at the history. But right now, this is not a distraction we should fall for.
She acts like they just said, oh, you got us, yeah, let's tell you everything. And no. Do you remember this? I did not have sexual relations with that woman,
You sound
Miss
like
Lewinsky. I've been practicing. Yeah, she acts like they got caught and they immediately said, oh, so sorry, too bad, we screwed up, blah, blah, blah. No. She made it painful, and her husband made it painful for the American people for about 3 freaking years.
Yep.
They cost the taxpayers a lot of money till he finally fessed up and looked in the camera again and, and said he was sorry and all that. But that was after years of deflection and denial, and it happened in the Oval Office when he was president.
And he was accused of actual rape by one of those
Yes.
women, and she just took them apart.
Juanita Broderick and Jennifer Flowers and the whole – it wasn't like it was one time. It is the very definition of sexual harassment. Now, look, if someone makes a bad joke and moves on, if someone says something off-color and stupid and fine, okay, you say stop it, knock it off, cut it out. As an attorney, I can tell you, we're getting to the point where we're almost saying – gotcha, on every single little thing. Sexual harassment has to be proven. It is a code and it's a pattern of conduct over a period of time and events. I'm sorry to say, though, President Bill Clinton defined it and then redefined it and then underscored it and highlighted it.
He was a serial predator.
Yes.
The definition.
Right. And so we can say that Roy Moore, it's allegations, and if they're true, it's horrible, and the guy should have resigned and gone away 2 weeks ago. But it's just, I guess it's the hypocrisy and the doublespeak is what bothers me on the left.
Drives everyone crazy.
That's what the problem is.
All the time.
We're all sinners. Me foremost, right? But when you do something wrong, you fess up, you apologize, you move on. The Clintons have made a professional sport out of never being accountable for anything. Hey, a guy that is incredibly upstanding and accountable to everyone joins us next. My very good friend, former Senator Jim Talent. We're going to talk a little about the Clintons more with the emerging Uranium One scandal. Will a special prosecutor be appointed? Should they, or should Sessions just move ahead? Former Senator Jim Talent joins us next. FM News Talk 97.1.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
Oh, if I, King Julian, only had 2 days left to live, I would do all the things I've ever dreamed of doing. Like what?
I'm a master legislator.
On FM News Talk 97.1. 97.1 and the Hallmark Channel present Trans-Siberian Orchestra, coming to the Scott Trade Center December 26th, playing 2 unforgettable shows with a portion of every ticket going to Shriners Hospitals for Children. Get info and register to win at 971talk.com. Tickets on sale now.
Diamonds Direct takes value to a whole new level this weekend with the biggest sale of the year. Friday through Sunday only, you save an extra 20% and more on virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bands, bracelets, colored gemstones, and listen, the selection is like double with entire designer lines flown in for this. Each piece on sale. Don't miss this truly extraordinary pre-holiday buying opportunity. Best values of the year and special financing. Friday, Saturday, and yep, even open Sunday, only at Diamonds Direct.
Olive in 270.
Hey, great time of the year to take stock of your entire holistic financial picture. Great time of the year for you to call my very good friends at Convergent Wealth Management, convergentwm.com. Give them a ring tomorrow. You may be off a couple days this week. You may be off next week. Give them a holler. They're always there Monday through Friday during all business hours, 636-536-1800. Here's the questions. I will bet you that your 401k is probably looking a little better this year than it did last year this time. So, do you have a retirement guide, a retirement professional in your corner? Does your advisor keep you informed? Welcome questions, request annual meetings. With everything at record highs in the stock market, do you have a plan? Do you have a plan now and in the future? Do you know what you're doing with your financial picture, with your insurance picture, with your tax picture? If you don't, they can bring it all together for you in one package. Call John or Jeannie at Convergent Wealth Management, 636-536-1800, 636-536-1800, convergentwm.com. Their wealth for the way.
If you have type 2 diabetes, please be aware, undiagnosed sleep apnea can increase your risk for heart attack and stroke. I'm Dr. Joe Ojal with the Clayton Sleep Institute. Obstructive sleep apnea with choking or gasping during sleep, or loud and persistent snoring, often occurs in people with diabetes. If you have diabetes and trouble breathing during sleep or keep others awake with noisy breathing, call Clayton Sleep Institute at 314-645-5855 or visit claytonsleep.com.
What do you look for in an accounting firm? Hi, I'm Doug Miller, president of Miller Pro CPAs and Business Advisors. At Miller Prost, we provide high-quality, timely, and creative solutions for our clients. We would be honored to advise you with all your tax, audit, accounting, and consulting needs. Call Miller Prost today at 314-862-2070. That's 314-862-2070. Miller Prost CPAs and Business Advisors, advising with vision.
For more than 20 years, Arrowhead Building Supplies customers in St. Peters have had to drive through our industrial park to visit us, often waiting behind big trucks or dealing with the park's railroad crossing. Well, our brand new Salt River Road entrance is now open for our customers, with direct access to our property. Our priority is to bring value to you, and once again, we've delivered. Our new entrance on Salt River Road is big, beautiful, and built just for you. Come try it out and see our showroom. Now also featuring the incredible new Arrowhead Cube Home Visualizer. ArrowheadBuildingSupply.com.
I'm Chris Walls, and I'm a truck driver from Missouri. For 13 hours a night, I sit in my truck and I drive. Out of boredom, I'll stop and eat. If I'm not doing fast food, I guarantee there's a bag of chips open on my dashboard. That was all until Andro 400. I started out 4 months ago, and since taking Andro 400, I have dropped 45 pounds. I'm sleeping better. There's no cravings. I actually don't even think about food. My knee pain went away. I've had some lower back issues, and I've noticed that went away, and I can only contribute that to Andro 400. One thing that Andro 400 said on the radio ad is it attacks belly fat. Well, let me tell you, it did. The second month is where I saw a drastic change in the size of my stomach. I've lost 6 inches. This product really does work.
So guys, if you'd like to experience similar results, then get Andro 400, the safe, natural, and inexpensive way to boost your testosterone. Go to andro400.com or call 888-400-0435. 888-400-0435.
Hey folks, Mark Cox here. We want you to join us in thanking first responders all this month. Each day we're going to recognize area police, fire, and EMT units to show support for what they do in the community. We want to raise awareness and say thank you for the difficult job they do every day. Listen to the show for the daily spotlight on our first responders. We encourage you to show your appreciation by donating to Responder Rescue. It's a locally based organization giving assistance to responders in need. Go to 971talk.com for more information and see how you can help.
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
Stole a key, took a car downtown where the lost boys meet. Took a car downtown and took what they offered me.
From the poor people. And I've been here working my whole stinking career for people who don't have a chance. And I really resent anybody saying that I'm just doing this for the rich. Give me a break. I think you guys overplay that all the time, and it gets old. And frankly, you ought to quit it.
Mr. Chairman, the public...
I'm not through. I get kind of sick and tired of it. True, it's a nice political play.
Well, Mr. Chairman,
it's not true.
With all due respect, I get sick and tired of the richest people
Regular
in the
order,
country
Mr. Chairman.
getting richer and
Regular order.
Regular we do a tax
Regular order.
Middle class
Wait a minute.
Regular order.
And over and over again. How many times do we do this before we learn this?
Listen, I've honored you by allowing you to spout off here. And what you said was not right. That's all I'm saying. I come from the lower middle class originally. We didn't have anything. So don't spew that stuff on me. I get a little tired of that crap. And let me just say something. If we worked together, we could pull this country out of every mess it's in. And we could do a lot of the things that you're talking about, too. And I think I've got a reputation of having worked together with Democrats.
Let's start with Chip.
Yeah, Senator Orrin Hatch, letting him have it.
Right.
Yeah. And we're going to ask Senator Jim Talent here about that exchange. I'm sure you heard it this week. But that was Senator Orrin Hatch from Utah, who does not get animated like that hardly ever. And he kind of had it with the talking points that are constantly being thrown around about things like tax cuts from the left. And his point was, look, if we would all work together on this and reform government in a good way, we'd have more GDP than we would know what to do with, and we could do some of these things that some of the Democrats and some of the moderates want to do. So, Welcome to the Tim Jones Show. Welcome back to the Tim Jones Show. And joining us now is the aforementioned former Senator Jim Talent, the Bipartisan Policy Council. Jim, good evening. Did you hear that exchange with Senator Hatch this week?
Yeah, I did. And, Orrin Hatch is a great legislator and a real gentleman, and I think he just had enough of people impugning his motives. And everybody knows him, knows it's not true, and he just blew up. And, when a guy who doesn't blow up very easily does, it has a real impact. So I was glad to hear it. He's been in the Senate a long time. He's done a lot of things, a lot of good things. He's trying to do one more good thing.
Right.
And, Sherrod Brown is an able person. I work with Sherrod on a number of things, and he's just carrying water for his party, and I get that. But it would be nice if people debated the merits of these things instead of making these charges.
Right. And, Jim, I think it's a long clip that I played, but the whole clip is even longer. And Senator Hatch made the point at the end of that. He said, look, because he did say, hey, Senator, I like you as a person, but it was really unfortunate what you just did, because apparently Brown pulled that stunt right at the end of the debate and said something about Rich and the fat cats and all that. And Hatch was like, whoa. I've been working on tax reform my entire career. At one point he said, I've passed more bills for people in this country than all of you on this committee combined. So don't tell me that I'm doing this for some rich friend of mine that doesn't exist. And
the Democrats support corporate tax relief. I mean, they really do. They're not going to provide any votes for this bill, and I get that too, because there's a perception in Washington that if the Republicans don't pass this bill, it's kudos for them next November. So you get a political imperative, and you know what those are, Tim.
Yeah.
But Hatch just had enough, and like I said, when somebody who doesn't do that does it, it's particularly effective.
Right.
And he was right. I think it's a pretty good bill. I mean, we're not going to know until they get to the conference committee, particularly on the individual stuff, exactly what's going to happen. But I think it's shaping up pretty well.
So we're speaking to Senator Jim Talent. He's at Jim Talent. He is columnist for National Review online at NRO, and he's also a fellow, a senior fellow at Bipartisan Policy Council. That's at BPC /
I'm a fellow. I identify as a fellow.
A good fellow. That's right. So, Jim, you've been through this before. You've been through these types of big legislative debates on something like a big animal like this. Play this out for the listeners. What I think people sometimes get lost in the legislative maneuvering. What happens next?
Well, the Senate, I think, is going to pass this bill. I've been upgrading the chances of the bill passing in my own mind over the last 3 or 4 weeks. I didn't think the Senate would move as fast as they did in committee. Now, the Senate floor, they got to get to 50 votes. I'm betting they will. I don't think the odds are prohibitive, but I'm betting that they will. And then they'll go to conference committee and they'll adjust. There are a lot of areas of differences, as you know, between the two bills, but they address the same things. It's not like they're going to write some whole new thing. They're going to compromise, and I think they're going to get a bill. Now, I would have told you a month ago I'd be very surprised if they get one by Christmas, but I think the chances of that are improving. They seem to have really planned this one, unlike the Obamacare thing. So let's see what happens, but I'm cautiously optimistic.
And, Jim, isn't the point of this bill, from what I've seen so far, it's to take some of the gamesmanship out of our very complex, complicated, slanted towards those people who can hire a lot of accountants and lawyers to figure their tax situation. It's take out some of the junk to make it a little more streamlined, and then hopefully set us up for this Congress to go back and do some serious, bigger reform, especially maybe in the entitlement area down the line.
That could come. The House has a lot of simplification. The Senate bill has less. I mean, I think of the bill as basically an attempt to get the economy moving through a combination of lowering certain personal rates and then also making us more competitive from a business perspective. Because, as you know, our corporate tax rate's one of the highest in the world. And if we lower it, we're going to get a lot of corporate profits brought back into this country and invested in this country. There's some other steps that they're doing. And I think the market is ready to go. I mean, I think the market's anticipating this. I think it wants to invest and grow in the United States, and that's what they're hoping for. A really robust economy would ease a lot of the tensions around the country and provide a lot of the opportunities that people have been missing. So that's how I think of it. Now, the House has got a bigger simplification piece to it, and they'll compromise on those issues in the conference. But I see it basically as, let's get the economy moving.
Speaking to Senator Jim Talent, he's a policy fellow at the Bipartisan Policy Center and writes a great column often for National Review. Jim, I want to talk about something you and I talked about several weeks ago, and that's this Uranium One thing. And it was just kind of, you were on the front edge of that, and you pointed us to a great article by one of your colleagues, and we talked about it. We talked about how here's all the components of this scandal. And here's what someone could look into if they wanted to. Well, lo and behold, now we had the big news this week of the potential for someone looking into this, namely maybe a special prosecutor. Now, Jim, I'm kind of like Laura Ingraham on this. I don't know if we need a special counsel for this, that, and the other thing. That's why we have a Justice Department. But whether we do or not, it looks like this thing actually has some meat building around its bones, and it may have some legs.
Yeah, it might. The only argument for a special prosecutor is that Rosenstein, who's a deputy attorney general, was involved in a piece of this because he was running the investigation as the U.S. attorney for Maryland, which was slow-walked, and eventually they pled the case out for a song. So there were three things happening here, Tim. We talked about this the last time. A Russian company was acquiring an American company that controlled a lot of our uranium assets, which is important from the standpoint of producing power. It's not so much a nuclear weapons thing, it's a nuclear power thing. Mm-hmm. The Russians play the energy game. That's part of their national security strategy. So that was happening. At the same time, a subsidiary of that Russian company was engaged in an extortion conspiracy in its contracts with a different American company, which would have given it leverage over that, did give it leverage over the company. The FBI knew about it because they had an informant on the inside who flipped. And, he didn't flip. He went and wore a wire for this. So they knew about all this going on. They did not tell the organization, which is supposed to pass on foreign transactions, foreign purchases of American companies that have national security implications. They didn't tell them that this was going on. And they didn't push the investigation. And the third element was that Rosatom was, through a lot of different agents, contributing enormous amounts of money to the Clinton Foundation. They were up to their eyeballs in dealing with this company. And so the issue is, was the Obama administration slow-walking and burying this investigation in order to protect the Clintons and not telling this government organization called CFIUS about it? Yeah, as Andy McCarthy said in that column I said to him, he said, this stinks.
Right.
And I think so, too. And I'm glad, and I think that the Senate Judiciary Committee's going to get some witnesses on this as well. So, this is a story that's going to be around for a while, I think.
Well, yeah, and Jim, you see how, Hillary Clinton, maybe doth protest too much. It seems like she's commenting on everything every day now, and maybe a little, maybe against her own, her own interest, because, for the first time in 20 some odd years, neither her nor her husband do control any levers of power, and she seems to be a little nervous about all this. The fact that the government's really looking at her for once on this.
Well, that and the down in Brazil.
The bombshells, yes.
Yeah, the bombshell, I think, is a problem for her. So, yeah, I lost a couple elections. I won a whole lot more than I lost. So when you
Yes, you
lose, Tim, it's a good idea to go low-key for a while and then come back on particular issues that interest you, rather than commenting on everything that's happening. That's what I prefer to see her do.
Exactly. Hey, Jim, you got any? You working on anything over the holidays? Any articles coming up soon? People should keep an eye out for next.
We just issued our report at the U.S.-China Commission, and it's uscc.org for those who are interested in it. And I had some comments in that. And I think I'm going to do a column on, if we can increase the deficit to pass tax relief, and I think we should. Why can't we rebuild the military? I thought President Trump's trips, and we don't have time to talk about it, but I thought his trip to the Far East was a real success. I think it's a bigger success than people think.
Well, and isn't it amazing, Jim? The media just doesn't want to talk about it at all, and you're right. He's bringing back billions of dollars of American investment, and not a blip.
That's true, but the top line in 30 seconds, Tim.
Yes, go ahead.
He's dictating the terms of discussion with the Chinese. That's what this is about, okay? So he's got the Chinese saying, yeah, the trade deficit is a problem. When he stands there in front of Xi Jinping and says, basically, you guys have been cheating for years and years. Now, it's not your fault because it's our fault for letting you get away with it. And Xi Jinping's nodding his head. I thought that was just brilliant. And the other thing he's talking about trade, and he's talking about North Korea, and he's playing the carrot and the stick with them. They just cut off a Chinese bank. It's a small one, but it's a Chinese bank from the American financial system because they were involved with North Korea. So he's playing the carrot and stick, doing a bunch of different things, and got the Chinese to focus. Chinese are renormalizing their relationships with South Korea. I really think Trump is dictating the terms of debate, but what he needs to do is get our military power and presence in the region built up. That's the missing link.
And we'll have you back to talk about that because I know that's one of your favorite topics, and I want to definitely get your thoughts on what you think this president's doing with the military and for them. But you're right. So much what you just said, he's not getting any credit for. But you know what?
I mean, this is the first time in years where the Chinese are not dictating what the top line of these discussions are about. And I think they're trying to figure out what to do. I loved his trip to Vietnam. That's very significant because the Vietnamese are at loggerheads with the Chinese. So there's a lot we could talk about. Let's do it next.
Truly remarkable. Hey, Jim, you and your family have a great Thanksgiving this week.
Same to you, Tim.
Okay, have a great one. Thanks so much, Jim. We'll have you back soon. That was the great former Senator Jim Talent.
Wow.
At Jim Talent. Ken, I could listen to him all night.
I know.
The man's a genius. This is Tim Jones. We try to live up to such talent here at the Tim Jones Show. We'll be back with more and to wrap it up and talk about your Thanksgiving week ahead.
This is the Tim Jones Show.
For those who are telling me to shut up, they told Hillary that a couple of months ago. You know what I tell them? Go to hell.
On FM News Talk 97.1.
Traffic reports at your fingertips. Real-time traffic online. Log on to 971talk.com for real-time traffic updates.
Brought to you by Frank Lita Acura. With 0.9% financing going on now. Can't beat a Lita. Online at litaacura.com.
You can now afford a beautiful Volvo SUV. Hi, this is Stephen Lynch, General Sales Manager at Suntrup's West County Volvo. Now is the time to save thousands on a new Volvo. Enjoy remarkable pricing on our remaining 2017s. This week only, the 2017 Volvo XC60 SUV are up to $10,000 off. And the larger SUV, the XC90, save up to $8,900. Or take advantage of one of our aggressive lease opportunities. The 2017 S60, $329 down, only $329 a month, or slide into the spacious interior of the new 2018 S90. $439 down, $439 per month. Suntrup West County Volvo has a large selection of Volvos and superior service you have come to expect. Visit Suntrup West County Volvo today at 14410 Manchester, just 3 miles west of 270, or go online at wcvolvo.com. 36-month leases, first payment due at signing, plus tax, title, license, acquisition, dealer fee, no security deposits, subject to VCF approval, expires 11/30.
Hey, Tim Jones here for Universal Windows Direct. I hate to say it, winter is here. You've probably already turned on the heat, and you know what that means? The heating bill is on the way. If you didn't do anything about it last year, it's gonna happen again. It doesn't have to be like that. That's why you need to call my guys at Universal Windows Direct. They've been providing beautiful, energy-efficient windows for over 15 years. Their windows are gonna save you money. Why? How? They're specially made to perform in our unpredictable climate. They got this cool aerospace technology called Super Spacer. Keeps the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer. You get the best windows for your home within your budget with a true lifetime warranty. It's not too late to make sure you're ready for this winter. Universal Windows Direct is making it easy with this great offer for every window you buy. The next window's free. There's no limits. 0% financing for 36 months. Call today, 314-878-0300, or go to universalwindowsstlouis.com. That's universalwindowsstlouis.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Radio moves. Radio breathes. Radio never sleeps. And Next Radio keeps up. It goes where you go, so you never miss a beat. It's live, it's local, it's a connection. A shared experience, just you and your radio. And a couple million people, give or take. Next Radio keeps up. You thought that phone couldn't get any smarter? Well, it got simpler. It got leaner. It's got your back. And it'll keep you moving, winning, in the know. And it'll get you where you want to go. All in the palm of your hand. Next Radio. Live and local, wherever you go.
Listen to your favorite FM stations with the free Next Radio app. Live and local, wherever you go. Download the free Next Radio app today.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Brook Linen. They are a linen company, duh. They do sheets and comforters and pillowcases and duvet covers and things like that. And they reached out to me and because of the success I've had with their friends at Harrys.com. It's a very similar story where this couple who started Brook Linen, Vicky and Rich, stayed at a nice hotel and they slept on this great bedding, and the next morning they're checking out and they made a joke like, hey, I wish we could buy that bed linen. They said, you can. It's $800. And they laughed and they went to breakfast. Then they checked into it and they realized that with all bedding, there's so many middlemen that they could get you better bedding, higher quality, higher thread count at a fraction of the cost by simply doing it themselves. They're the fastest growing bedding company in the world, 12,000 five-star reviews. I can get you $20 off and free shipping when you use the promo code Glover at brooklinen.com, BROOKLINEN. Everything's guaranteed. Check it out, brooklinen.com.
I never heard of this bump stock either.
Mark Levin.
If this thing did not exist,
Weeknights, 9 to midnight.
and this guy wanted to commit mass murder,
Mark Levin.
he would still commit mass murder.
Weeknights, 9 to midnight.
On FM News Talk
97.1.
I ain't trading my youth for no suit and jacket.
This is the Tim Jones Show. Call now, 314-969-9797 or 866-455-9797.
From the poor people. And I've been here working my whole stinking career for people who don't.
Explain to me, how is giving people a choice whether or not to have health care and not having a fine anymore, how is that throwing 13 million people off of health insurance?
Well, we already have 28 million people who have no health insurance. Every other major country on earth guarantees health care to all people. What would happen here is 13 million more people would not have health insurance. Now, some people say, well, if I'm 25 years of age and I'm healthy, hey, no problem, I'm not going to buy health insurance. Well, you know what? 25-year-olds come down and are diagnosed with leukemia. They get hit by buses.
They get hit by buses.
Yeah, well, they do.
Yeah, so,
Bernie's right.
So that's why we should completely take over 1/6 of the U.S. economy, completely destroy healthcare choice, and
feel the burn.
And feel the burn. Just feel the burn. That's what happens after you get hit by a bus, Ken.
Yes, it
you
is.
You feel the burn.
You feel the burn.
That was Bernie Sanders. So that's the other reason. So I started off the show by telling you how, what was my Tim's top 3 was, the liberal media meltdown. So the reason they're melting down, folks, is because President Donald Trump, hopefully with the assistance of Congress before the end of the year, is making America great again. How is he doing that? He's talking about reducing regulations. He's talking about pulling back the horrific effects of Obamacare on our economy and our healthcare system, where the lie of the year, I don't know who did that, Time Magazine or somebody, or Politico did it, which is not a right-wing, they're a center to center-left operation. The lie of the year a couple years ago was Obama saying, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. So it was all a lie. It was all fraud. John Roberts, Chief Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, kept Obamacare, which a lot of people are still not forgiving him for, but he kept it because he said it was a tax, and Congress has unlimited authority. They can tax you if you, well, they do tax you. They could tax a chalkboard if it stands still long enough. So that's what happened there, and it was a tax. And so That's being undone. Rules and regulations are being undone. We may cut the tax system a little bit. I'd like more. Are these bills perfect that are going through the... Never. Legislation is never perfect, especially in this day and age when you've got half, not quite half because they've lost so many elections, a little bit less than half of the Congress trying to fight you on every single thing, doing things like they did to Orrin Hatch this week to even make the gentleman from Utah lose his absolute mind because of the tricks and the crap they're pulling. So the Bernie bros are freaked out because the mandate may come out finally.
Right, and it should.
And as fake Jake Tapper, or as fake Tapper, as we're calling him now, fake Tapper says to Bernie, he actually asked him a good question. He said, should people be required to purchase? I mean, that was our argument all. Isn't that funny to hear Jake Tapper say that? So Bernie, should people be forced to purchase something they otherwise would not wish to purchase? Well, that was our argument all along.
The whole time.
The whole time. And Bernie's like, whoa, 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 and he, on and blah, blah, blah. People could get hit by a bus. Well, yeah, lightning could strike Ken and I as we leave here tonight.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Crap happens, but that doesn't mean we need mama government, daddy government to wrap us in bubble wrap and stick us in a closet and forever hook a feeding tube up to us. I mean, remember Reagan gave that great analogy of what government is like, it's the baby that, takes the food in one end and goes out the other. And he had that whole, he said a lot more artfully than that, but
right.
Remember he had that whole analogy. Yeah. And it's like, that's what government is. Government is not the shining city on the hill. The people are the shining city on the hill that Reagan was talking about. But see, the left, it's all about government. And so this week, everybody from the national media down to the local media is trashing people, including yours truly, who continue to support these ideals because these ideals are coming true once again. These ideals became true during the Reagan era. What happened? We had boomingest, I just made a new word up. We had one of the largest economic booms in our nation's history. We have unemployment at record lows. Anybody who wants a job right now can have a job. And now we're going to say...
Who wants a job?
Right. And that's why when the left says this is not a tax cut for all Americans, you know what? It's not. It's a tax cut for all tax-paying Americans. That's who it's a tax cut for. It's a tax cut for anybody who wants to work. If you get a job, the first $24,000 of your income are going to be tax exempt. This tax reform bill is projected by nonpartisan groups to generate up to 1 million new jobs. We're going to have GDP growth so we can do all the junk. I wish we wouldn't, but you know how it is in government. They get more money in, they're going to spend it. More things can be done with it. Hey, folks, as I wrap up here, I'll be back with you on Thanksgiving Day with Almond in the Morning at 6 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. Special time will be starting. We'll be here for 3 hours. Have some great guests. Guns N' Hoses is the night before. There are tickets still available. I just looked at their website. So just Google Guns N' Hoses, STL, and a link will pop up. You go to ticketcenter.com, and I think is what it's on. So that's Wednesday night. We'll talk with some folks about that on Thursday. I through the PAC that I advise and consult with, the one that Tony Messenger hates, we made a huge contribution to Guns N' Hoses. So that's some of the evil things that the PAC does. It supports the men and women in blue that Tony Messenger likes to trash at the post-disgrace. But let's end on a happy note. Whether or not you can listen to us on Thanksgiving Day, if you're traveling near and far, remember you can always stream us, 971talk.com. I do wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving. I will be back with you on Thursday. I may be joining the Glover Show on Wednesday as well, so listen to me then. Follow me at Speaker Tim Jones. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Thank you, Suzanne, Katie, and Abby. I'll be home soon, ladies. Ken, thank you so much for all the help tonight.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you too, my friend. I'll see you next week. Andrew, thank you so much for manning the phones and keeping us in between the ditches and all that. So, this week, folks, I'll just leave you with this. Keep a lookout for what's going to happen with the tax plan. You're going to hear a lot more about it this week. You're going to have to get through all the Al Franken-ness and the Roy Moore-ness and all that. Folks, prioritize what is truly important in your life. It's your family. It's your loved ones. It's your friends. It's your community. It's the men and women who protect us, who put their lives on the lines here domestically and abroad. That's what I'm thankful for. I know so many of you are thankful for that as well. Finally, I am thankful for all of you. Thankful for all of you who showed up on Saturday and said hello. Thankful for all of you who continue to listen, not only to this show, but this entire incredible station. You all have a great week this week. Get a little rest. Yeah, you'll probably eat too much turkey and cranberries, but that's okay. You can work it off the next day as you run around Walmart buying televisions. So, this is the Tim Jones Show. We're here every week from 7 to 9 p.m. on Sunday. I'm at Speaker Tim Jones. Keep it right here. There's lots more ahead on FM News Talk 97.1.
Waiting for Black Friday?